What's up, Yang Gang? So today we're going to talk about the Iowa Caucuses, which are going on tonight. But first we wanted to get into a couple things, and the first is kind of a bittersweet moment for us. As y'all know, we've been doing live streams, since the beginning. We've been streaming Andrew for longer than anybody. But that time has come to an end. And we knew it would at some point. We know that Zach and Matt and Ted from Yang Stream, the campaign has started using those streams as a fundraising platform. And it's a wonder that it took them this long, but we appreciate it taking them this long. But what we have to do now is we have to evolve. And so we're not going to be bringing you the live streams anymore, because we're just going to leave that to the campaign. That's what the campaign is supposed to do. Tulsi's had a live stream up for I don't know how long, so is Bernie. And we appreciate Andrew and Zach and the campaign allowing us to do those live streams, to bring y'all those live streams. But now we're going to focus more on, we're going to be like the pregame. We're going to show up to the events like this. We're going to be the pregame show. We're going to be the hype squad. We're going to get people jacked up. We're going to get people excited to see Andrew Yang at these events. And we're also going to act as protection if we have to during these events while they're live streaming. And we're going to be the people in the crowd getting them hyped. And we're going to be the people bringing you interviews before and afterwards. Sometimes it's going to be difficult because we got to get to these events, so we may be able to get the after on one event and have to skip the pre and just get the after on the next event.
It all just depends on timing.
It all depends on timing.
And just if you're new here, Russell doesn't normally sound like that.
I don't. I sound like I swallowed a duck.
He's partially lost his voice. So.
But it's all good because we're going to be bringing the hype tomorrow. But now let's get into, the other thing that I wanted to get into was shout outs to everyone in the Yang Gang who has donated their time, their effort, poured it into Iowa, poured it in New Hampshire. Y'all, today's our day. Today's when we shine. Mm-hmm. Today's is when we show the world that the polls are wrong. Yep. It starts today at the caucuses. You want to take over for a minute, Mama?
Yeah, your voice is getting worse. So this is mostly just some mock caucuses. They did at some universities. The University of Iowa did one, and after, they do the first round, if you're unaware of how it goes. And whoever is not viable, as in they get less than 15% of the votes, or the people saying, I support this candidate, those people have got to choose a different candidate to get behind, or they can just leave the caucus. So, in this mock caucus at the University of Iowa, Andrew was viable, and some people came from other candidates to Andrew. He ended up coming in third. And it was the same for the SCC mock caucus and the UNI mock caucus. He was in third in all three of those. So third's not a bad spot to be, especially when others are not viable and people are coming over to Yang.
Game of Thrones, y'all. This is how we win this at this caucus. And here's the thing. A lot of the candidates like Tulsi and even Buttigieg, they were all moving over to the Yang Gang.
Even Klobuchar.
Because those groups for sure don't want Elizabeth Warren, and they for sure don't want Bernie Sanders. So Yang becomes a suddenly really viable candidate. If we can come out third And I know that, I mean, I'm wearing them rose-colored glasses, buddy. I'm believing that all this effort that we put in and all this passion that we brought, and oh my gosh, dude, here's where we shine. And I really believe, you know, some people, I'm seeing like 5th or 6th. People are talking about coming out of Iowa 5th or 6th. That's not acceptable to me. That's not acceptable.
So before we get into our predictions, we're going to do our little segment on predictions.
Okay.
I do also...
Say my prediction.
I do also want to mention that there was a youth straw poll you may have seen. And it had Yang in first place when they did the straw poll among... It was high school students, yes. But these high school students have parents. So...
you know those Yang children came from Yang parents. For sure.
All right, prediction time for Iowa Caucuses.
Put your predictions in the comments below. How do you think that we're going to finish? You know. All right, Mommy Yang Gang. Here you go.
My predictions first?
Your predictions first.
Right. Now, I might sound a little, like you said, with the rose-colored glasses, but I predict Andrew Yang is going to shock everybody and come in first. Is that a bold prediction? But okay. But honestly, I know he's going to be viable. He is going to be viable. So he's going to be in at least 3rd. But, you know, we got to manifest that first place win.
Yeah, that's gonna be a reach with all the burners that are out there.
Bold predictions?
My bold prediction: we end up with a few more delegates than people expect. And I think we shock a lot of people. And it's the fake news is going to be hard pressed to keep their mouths shut about us after tonight. Yang Gang, if y'all want us to live stream during the caucus tonight, we can attempt to figure out to do that for y'all. If y'all for some reason want to watch that coverage of us hollering and screaming at the TV, I don't know.
Like, we could do live coverage of the caucuses, so if that's something you'd like to see, please let us know below. If we get enough people saying yes, please live stream, and you'll be watching it, then we'll do that. If not, we won't. And one more quick question before we go. This is something we don't want to think about, but I just want to put it out there. What would be our next move if, say, Yang was not viable in the Iowa caucuses? This is just, obviously, like, this would never happen, but, you know, what if?
I would punch the universe in the face.
Okay. You would punch the universe in the face.
That's all I got.
But I would be more than pissed. I'd be like, I wouldn't be voter. I would not be shaming the voters. You know how you
supposed to be that way. I'm really just mad.
I wouldn't want to voter shame, you know, vote shame people. But at the same
Vote
time,
shame people.
Whatever it's called.
Shame!
I would seriously be thinking shame on y'all.
Shun the non-believers.
It's like, if you have a brain, you're voting for Yang. And yes, he's my candidate, but I just feel like...
Maybe that should be our slogan in 2024. If you got a brain, vote for Yang.
Right? I feel like if you've done the research and everything, then that's the candidate you would choose. That's... I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
But let's say he's not. First, we're pissed off. Next, we're focusing on New Hampshire, which I think he has a good chance to do very well in New Hampshire.
Losing the Iowa caucus and not being... I don't know. I don't think that's the end-all, be-all.
No.
And I still think no matter what happens, we're going to come out in New Hampshire strong. I'm telling you, there's been a lot of work put in. There's been a lot of hours put in by a whole lot of people up here. And Yang Gang... Andrew Yang's message resonates in this area heavily. So I'm looking forward to the New Hampshire primaries. I can't wait. And you know what? On New Hampshire primary day, I'm going to attempt to find somebody that's not a registered New Hampshire voter that lives in New Hampshire, see if I can convince them to vote for Andrew Yang. That's going to be my mission, New Hampshire primary day. I'm going to see if I can find somebody like that for y'all, Yang Gang.
Get out to New Hampshire. We put all of our Yang Gang and all of our forces. We all went to Iowa. We did what we could do there. Today is caucus day. Tomorrow, it starts in New Hampshire. If you can get out to New Hampshire, get to New Hampshire. The primaries are on the 11th.
right around the corner, y'all.
You'd be amazed when I went canvassing how many people still never even heard of him at this point.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I was sure to tell them all about him. I went to the stump speech and I was like, I sound just like Andrew right now.
So if y'all can make it to New Hampshire, please make it to New Hampshire. South Carolina, same thing. Nevada, same thing. Y'all, all of these early voting states, we got to make it happen. If it's to be, it's up to me. You got to be the change that you want to see in the world, y'all. Let's do this, Yang Gang. We love you. See you on the next one. Because tonight is when the Yang Gang wave starts crashing in on that shore. Because I'm telling you, we're coming out of Iowa, firing on all cylinders, and we're going to hit New Hampshire, and we're going to take this motherfucker by storm. Let's go, Yang Gang. You can't even see my Yang shirt anymore.
Well, you're gonna have to. So in this mock caucus, I think they're actually called Caucus. Anyways.
You want to start that over?
So, in this mock caucus, I don't know why that's funny. Okay, hold on. Let me compose myself. Okay. Don't stop. Just stop. Don't look like that. So in this... Why? Why am I laughing now? So, in this mock caucus at the University of Iowa, Andrew was viable, and maybe we should just cut this part out, because I don't know. I thought it was. Cut. Okay.
Pause it. See you on the next one.
That's not the end. I didn't forget what I was going to say. Oh! I'll punch you right in the throat.
I can't do it.
Okay. Not safe for work. Just kidding. Because we kiss. Never mind. It was a joke. It was not funny. And what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. Yang Gang. Hold on. Let me see how I'm gonna word this. Alright, y'all.
Why are you telling me the story
I don't know.
now?
We can just quit now. Yang Gang. Guys, he's Yang Gang. Ayo.
One.
Yummy, 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 yummy.